Okay, who says that about any animal? I was like, you need to like go on and get and never be on a channel again. Like straight up. Like disgusting. And the sad part is like humans like you exist. Clearly. Oh, I'm joking. Like when was that ever a good joke? Disgusting. What up, Jeremy? What up, Bama? Yeah, they went riding that fucking black train all the way to Gone Town. Gone and ain't coming back, motherfucking town. Go on and get. How you doing, old man? Happy Tuesday. You feeling young or you feeling old? Just kidding. Just kidding. Roll Tide. They be rolling. They hate it. Just kidding. Oh my gosh, the last 2 nights, my dreams have been wild. Like, I'm talking about wild. Like, it feels like I'm genuinely at like a circus, and I just cannot keep up with all the things that are happening. No, like, he's like sitting there talking about like sacrificing animals. Like, get the fuck out of my chat. Like, no. I appreciate it. He definitely got terminated. Terminator! That's a no for me. Well, go on and get. Ain't nobody touching no animals in front of me. Definitely not my own, but definitely not any. So that's a no. And it says a lot for me if you don't love animals. I mean, I can kind of like sympathize for some people that like maybe didn't grow up with animals and don't understand like what they provide, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that didn't grow up with animals and end up getting animals as an adult. But that's just like some weird sick shit. Like, go on and get with that. And those type of people know what they're doing because they're leaving that in the chat. Because clearly I wasn't looking at the chat. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna drop something out there and leave it in there and let them see. I'm like, no. Yeah, I've always had animals, so I don't condone that weird shit at all. Like, back away from the animals. Like, And honestly, it says a lot for me when people don't like animals. Unless you grew up in a box and you weren't allowed to have animals, or maybe you moved all the time and there's different scenarios or different things, but you could still be an animal person. I don't know, when people are just like saying weird shit like that, like you're just like really effed in the head. It's like, who says that stuff, you know? Bama, have you done the YouTube AI? Oh, Bama. I thought you said offered. Yeah, they definitely they need to go on and get, and then turn around and be like, just kidding. Like, it's like, no. Like, you think that's gonna save you from being hidden forever in here? Because it's not. You know, I didn't really mess around with much AI stuff either. I've done a couple things throughout the years, but whenever I got my tattoo touched up, I was thinking about doing one for the dog. So I was playing around with AI. But I noticed that on YouTube, when you go to like your post, like your community post, there's an option to type in like to AI to create a picture. And I never noticed that until like last week. So I've played around with that. That's how I got my little cartoon photo over here. But it was interesting. Some of it's on point, and then some of it is not. But the video stuff, I haven't played around with no videos. I was just playing around with the photos that I created. And Bama, you acting like we never met before. I think I learned that about you in the first 5 minutes. And that's okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. A bunch of them, you know. Jesus will pray for you. And by you, I mean them. Well, Jesus will be here for everybody, but in general, those people, you wonder, like, there's obviously some stuff going on in there. Clearly. And people like to get a rise too, though, so you gotta, like, put that in your pocket. People enjoy doing that. Hold on a second. Like, I'm convinced that some people's missions are to do exactly that. It's rather sad. Oh, yeah, you do. Absolutely. It's an energy, so you're not supposed to absorb that very long, you know? Or at all. About 95% of the time, it's attention seeking, you know? Yeah, we all have different things that we bring to the table, even sometimes in similarities. And with humans, like, you start to pick up on trends and why people are doing what they're doing and what are their missions. And, reading humans is a skill in itself, but not to allow, like, trolls to get inside our head or take away our energy, you know? That's the most important thing. Because when people learn that they can get a reaction, what are they probably going to keep doing? Hold on now, I never said you were dumb. And I think that we all got a little something, and we're all different, and we all have something to bring to the table, for sure. A smart ass, yes. I include myself into that. But I think it's important also to understand, like, our abilities and where we stand, and to protect our energy too, because people prey on that, you know. And I think when we're more aware of our personality type personally, because we can't control anything else, we can only be responsible for our own actions. That's when we like crack the code of like humans a little bit more, because maybe you sympathize with someone, or maybe you understand or you see what someone is doing from different angles because of our own experiences or something that you saw in someone else, you know. When you say fudge, and I just think of fudge. I actually seen a fudge recipe on, I think it was my condensed milk or evaporated milk in the fridge, like yesterday, I think it was. And I was like, ooh, this would be a recipe I'd like to try, but fudge is so dangerous. Like, ooh, I love me some peanut butter fudge. Oh my gosh. The fudge is so dangerous. So good, though. Just don't let the trolls get to you, too, you know, Bama? That's good. Because all those people have different strengths, and people have different challenges in this life. That doesn't make them less than. They offer something to the table, and it can provide different experiences for other people too, including ourselves, you know? So, not to allow these things that we know are a little bit more challenging in this life for ourselves to be used against us and feeling like we're less than because we may experience things or feel things more than others are willing to feel or see. But it doesn't mean that those things have to be used to our like disadvantage or be treated like we're stupid. It's not fair. I think a lot of times people don't know how to handle different challenges that come to the table with different people and even said children, you know. What up, Root? Happy Tuesday. Little Rudy in the house. What time did you wake up today, Rudy? I really gotta be looking when you both are in the chat at the same time, because obviously the R's in the beginning of your names, but if you squint with one eye, your usernames could look similar, you know? But not only that, your profile pictures, if you squint with one eye, could look the same. I'm like, Bama, is Jesse your son? Peace, love, and fudge. Don't worry, tomorrow you're gonna sleep until 4:51 and you're gonna feel like you slept in. Root beer float. I love root beer. I remember when I was a kid, I'd love drinking them out of the glass. You thought you were grown. You're like, this is a root beer. Extra root, hold the beer. It's gonna be a good, productive Tuesday. Get it done, Jesse. I'm assuming you got 12 hours out of you. Is every day different at your job? Are you doing like roughly similar things every day? How long have you been with the job that you've been at now, Jesse? Your dots, actually, your little dots that you put in your sentences crack me up. When I was a kid, when computers started getting more and more popular, I remember my dad would type with commas instead of dots, and I think he was trying to do dots. My dad probably needed glasses many, many, many moons ago. But me and my best friends still laugh about it and like send each other text messages with a bunch of commas. Like, hey, comma, 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 comma. So when I see your dots, I think of my dad. Maybe it's a southern thing. This is my verification video. Okay, and then you jet off. You've been forgiven. I understand. I always appreciate if anytime any of y'all come in, and I always say that. And I know that's probably annoying at this point, but people need to be told more that they're appreciated. So the fact that any of you guys come in at any point in time, whether you sprinkle yourself in, and I definitely take note of the people that are here a lot, and I still love the people that aren't here every day, but I definitely value the people that are really supporting me. It means so much. Yeah, you're just trying to get your $3.99 a month. Comma, comma, comma. Yeah, I used to send so many fucking commas. I'm like, you realize those are commas, right? He probably thought they were dots. I'm still convinced he thought they were dots. He never stopped doing that, though. I haven't talked to my dad in many, many, many moons at this point, but the last time him and I were even texting or emailing, he definitely was still sending commas. So here's your appreciation with a bunch of commas. Yeah, right back at you, Jesse. All us humans are something else, you know. I'm far from perfect, as y'all know, but try to keep it classy and sassy. A good little balance going on. But I really love when I can like click with peeps, of course, especially in said chat, and you can understand that someone else understands like your personality without having to like over explain. Those things are pretty awesome. Yeah, Bam, I asked about the AI stuff because I figured maybe that's where you're getting all your profile pictures from. But you could like type in there, you could be like a barn with three turtles outside, two horses, and you could put yourself in there. It took me forever to get something that looked even remotely close to me, and even then. But it's cool to create like off of that. But it's sad for like said artists that are getting kind of pushed out through those things. But I think people appreciate handmade artists, or, or not just a computer generated artist, even more. Peace, love, and hair grease, right? And chicken grease. Have a good day, Jesse. Be safe, stay hydrated, keep it real, do what you do, be a light in the dark room. I'm sure those people at your job appreciate you, maybe even more than you know. So keep being that little gift from God, Earth Angel. Have a great day. Yeah, you could even do that, Bama, on the AI. You could be like, have a barn with a sign that says Turtle Ranch. Or you could say, have a turtle with a sign that says Turtle Ranch. I was like literally, I spent quite a bit of time on that the last weekend. Like, not this past weekend, but last week. Sorry. Last week I spent some time on the AI stuff because I didn't even know it existed. I don't even go to like the posts like that, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, what is this? Later, Tater. I gotta work on some more emojis in the little badge, something that's like easier to see, because I forget it's so small. Wait, Jesse, before you go, send the Barbie. You see the Barbie? I want to see what she looks like. What up, Nat? Happy Tuesday. Did you go to Robin's, to the Robin Forest? How was it? I think that you really would like the AI picture. I don't know about the video stuff. I haven't done any video stuff, but I think you would like the AI picture, Bama. You could probably get real creative with it. Like you could literally do like your profile picture now and then have like some turtles. Or you could put roll tide on it. Maybe I'll play around and make one for you. That's awesome, Nat. I can't remember, do you go there often, or I'm glad that you had a good time with your fam, and your fam I'm assuming had a good time too. That's awesome. I'm sure wildlife is like impeccable out there. Probably so beautiful. Is the Dutton Ranch different than Yellowstone? So it's like a remake of Yellowstone, or is it like connected to Yellowstone? Oh, that's cool, Nat. You're like, we do this every couple of years. That's awesome. You got any other trips lined up? You know how some people like will go on one trip and then they're starting to plan another one? When does school start over there? Lizzie. Is that a character? Okay, you got another one lined up. What are you guys gonna do in Wales? I knew a couple people from there. Oh, oh, I wasn't expecting that, Bama. That's the new name, okay? I wasn't expecting that. Whoa, I had like a sip of coffee so far. I was like, what's a Lizzie? Okay. Is Crystal on YouTube, Bama? What up, Brian? Happy Tuesday. Oh, until the start of September, so like another month. So you guys are gonna do another vacation to Wales? Is that gonna be the last one before school comes back? Start to get ready and everything. I used to love school shopping as a kid. Oh my gosh. Like the smell of like new school stuff. And I was such always a little nerd. I loved organizing all my stuff, even though like you don't know what the classes are going to be entirely. As you get older, I guess they start to give you more of a breakdown for what class needs what. But I used to love organizing all my things. New pencils, new markers, crayons. And I always valued the teachers that wanted you to have something real crafty that was a little bit different. Some of the teachers would be getting a little too outside the box. I'm like, yo, you're asking for things that are hard to find. Relax. Do you guys celebrate Labor Day, Nat? Yeah, I didn't think you guys did. What about Memorial Day? I can't remember that one either. Hey, maybe Crystal is just trying to see what's in the water, you know? Oh, not in the UK. Dang, that's interesting. So I know sometimes like schools will start back before Labor Day here, and then they'll give them Labor Day off. So they're in school for like a week, and then they're off again. I'm like, make it make sense. I know the kids are always excited for that kind of stuff, but so then like the next time they would be off would be like, oh, you guys don't even do Thanksgiving there, right? Oh my gosh. What are Americans doing? I swear, if you think about it, there's a holiday for every month. They do that shit on purpose. Something's in the Kool-Aid and the water. Dun. The Kool-Aid's talking to you, Bama. It's come crashing through the door like the Kool-Aid man. The Kool-Aid's man is like, Bama, I'm here to give you some Kool-Aid. You got that Lizzie Kool-Aid or nah? You got that Lizzie Kool-Aid or nah? Bama, put the Kool-Aid down. Put the Kool-Aid down. Bama, I think everybody knows that. I think everybody knows that, Turtle Boy. Chewy, you got a Chewy bar? Oh my gosh, I used to love those granola bars. Although they're not probably that hard to make. I've made granola bars a couple times. I'm not sure what it is, Chewy. Oh my gosh. No, Bama. Crystal's running to the water. Running. Chewbacca. Alpaca. Where the Bigfoot at? What are you doing, little Billy Goat? Oh, here. What you want? The seeds. Go on, get your seeds, boy. Wow, look at it. Crazy. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, cool guy. Oh, gee, you're going in. I know it's scary. It's scary. You're so big about it. It's crazy. Get your bone. Get your bone, boy. Get your bone. I'm gonna get it. Look at that bone. I'm gonna get it. Oh, you got it. You don't took your bone. You got it. You just bone. Get your bone. Get your bone. You better get that bone. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Wanna get that bone? I'm gonna get it. Good. 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 Yeah. Get that bone. Boy, I'm gonna get that bone. Look at the bone. Your brother done stole the bone. You got Duke. You got Duke. Yeah, you got another one? I know what you said. I know what you said, Chewbacca. I know what you said, Chewbacca. Come on now, you little fudge. Chewbacca! God. Ooh, God, no, you got duped again, dude. You got duped. He took that shit and he ran. Come on. Get. Better get that bone, boy. You about to dip that bone in. You got it again. You got to do it again. You don't let me duping you? Nah, he making shit up. Chewbacca! Why, Bama? They get a little gooeyes, a little morning goose. Yeah, I do wipe their eyes. Not it isn't crazy like every day, but I do wipe their eyes for them. Keep it all good in the hood. They got last year these little like, I don't even know. It was something with the yard or the neighborhood because the neighborhood's fucked, but they got like into something. I don't know if it was the grass because it gets crazy back here. So I try to, in the morning, we try to do like street walking, sidewalk walking to keep them out of the grass as much as possible with the morning dew. I had to give like baths, like it felt like every day. It was insane, but the spray and the shampoo stuff was like heaven sent. But that was a nightmare. No fun. Oh yeah, they're definitely like my children for sure. So I can feel you on that. Yeah, I have like baby wipes around here too, and then you can always take a wet paper towel and wipe their eyes. That way it don't smear around, you know. It's the morning. The morning, I forget what it's called even. Sleep in your eye, is that what they call it? All my animals are like 100% my children. Baker, what you baking? I hope you're feeling better every day, man. Morning, morning. Happy Tuesday. Say happy Tuesday. That's their happy Tuesday. I know. I feel like, animals are definitely sent to us in divine timing. My bird was like, what? Yeah, you too, buddy. I definitely feel that. So I'm glad that Marley was sent to you. That's how I feel with my boys. Like, they really help me with this neighborhood stuff, for sure. In life, like, I feel like it's a buddy system. And when you love animals, like, and they love you so much, like, it's like a literal best friend thing. Oh my gosh, Baker. Don't rush the progress and the process. I know you're tired of laying there, man. I know that shit's got to get old. But remember, this is a minor setback. It may not feel like it, definitely in the physical, for a major comeback, so you got to believe that. But you got to put in the time to heal up, right? So that way it doesn't get crazy. I really hope that you feel better soon, man. It won't be like this forever. You just got to believe that. I feel like the mental puts a lot on it sometimes, to be like, all right, I gotta get better, and then your body's like, nah, I ain't ready. So listen to your body, even when your mind is like, I'm ready. This is just some, like, stay still downtime that will be filled in other things. Maybe see if you could get, like, some word searches, some crosswords, stuff maybe even off of the phone that's, like, keeping your mind busy as well, or your hands busy. Because I know it could be like, ugh, I don't want to stay put no more. It's gonna get better, man. Just stay positive. Sending you all the healing prayers. Yeah, the healing prayers. Send them out. Send them out. I know, dude. I know. I got some wild boars in the house, y'all. Oh, they're having a fucking blast. They're sending out their healing prayers to you, man. They're like, well, I am. You will get better, Baker. And no obligation on that. I hope you feel better. You've been part of the dogs, but you officially part of the dogs. Yeah, woof woof. Woof woof means a lot, but yes. Woof woof, heel, heel. Stay still for now and then you'll feel better, even better in the future. Gotta believe it to see it. Yeah. I know. Code blue. Yeah. I've been thinking about it. And that's no offense to you for why it hasn't happened yet. Like at all. But yeah, no obligation on that. You seem like a cool guy. Hang out with us. We call ourselves the dogs around here. So go dogs. Mama's like, I ain't ever been a dog fan, but I'm a Dutchy dog fan. You gonna feel better soon, man. Whenever you're going through things in life, it doesn't feel like it may end, you know? It feels like, okay, this is just feels like on repeat. And then it gets better, you know? And we just have to hold on to the better and stay optimistic. And I think the universe like rewards us in those hard times for sure, because it's not easy always to be optimistic when life is throwing shit at you. Quite literally. Yeah, the dreamsicles. Oh my gosh. I gotta show the dreamsicles. Hold on. I'm gonna show the dreamsicles. Give me a second. I think I counted them the other day after when I was talking to you and Jesse about them. I think I got 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. I've given several away. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7. And maybe some other ones floating around here, but one is a little dreamsicle. I'm using my other phone, so the quality is trash, but this one's like one of my favorite. Oh, look, Bam, a little turtle. Turtle. Look, singing for the choir. We got like Kermit over here. Where his tea at, yo? I said this one reminds me of farms now. My little piggy candle. And then, so I got these. This one's one of my favorite. And then I got this one. This one is probably my favorite. But I love them all. My best friend's mom was like a mom to me growing up. I even like lived with them at one point. She was definitely a mom to me. But she gained her angel wings a while ago now. It's been like 6 years. It's been 7. Another one of her years just passed recently, so I'm like 6 or 7. But she used to collect dreamsicles, and I actually didn't know that. And I remember I was like seeing them all the time, and I told my best friend, I was like, "Oh, check out these sickles that I'm collecting." And I have given some to people, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, Mom collected those." And she had tons and tons and tons of them. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. I feel like she lives on, but every time I go thrifting, I see at least one. Sometimes there's like shelves of them. It's pretty cool. Little angel sign for sure. Oh, you were in foster care? How long were you in foster care for? Yeah, Bama's a little turtle. Bama loves turtles. So I'm like, oh, look, it's a turtle. Turtle, turtle. You don't have to be a turtle. Bama's like his own turtle. I mean, you could be an animal. I mean, it's like an animal club. You don't have to be like a dog. You could be whatever you want to be. You could switch it up. Your foster parents had a ton of them, so that must be a sign for you too. That's interesting. I think like the creator had like some tax issues or something. I read something about it, like looking into it several years ago when I learned that my best friend's mom collected a bunch of them. I was like, oh, because some of them, they're not like, you could sell some of them like flipping. Like I flipped different things, like different little figurines at times, but they're not really like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like collect a bunch of them unless they're like for me or like a sign or mean something. Because it started to be like that. Like, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I have so many of them. So I started like gifting some of them out. And then those are the ones that are on the trinket case. Wow, 3 to 17. Did you get emancipated, if you don't mind me asking? You know, I was in foster care too, so that's why I asked. Because there's not any excitement to being in foster care, but it is always interesting when you meet someone else that was. Wow, 3, that's such a young age. Did you have the same foster parents? Oh, okay. Wow. 237. That's insane. Did you ever get in touch with your parents, your biological parents, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, like 2 altogether. That's pretty good then, though. I know the circumstances are far from fucking good, but that's actually that's actually pretty good. I mean, usually statistics is up there. I also had 2. You know, sometimes I wonder when people go into the military, like what is their reasoning of the military, and those reasons can vary. Um, I hope you didn't go into the military because of that and trying to find like a place into the world. 'Cause I feel like foster kids can go different ways in life. Anyone can, but hold on a second. Oh man. Do you still talk to your foster parents? I'm sorry to hear that, man. Maybe they're like tapping in like angel wise. That is really interesting with the dreamsicles. I'm all about my spirituality, so I'm like seeing alignment here and I'm like, oh, like no coincidences. Especially you being a boy, knowing about the dreamsicles too, because not a lot of boys do. Unless they knew someone. Oh, I love that so much. That's awesome. You know, I used to say my real mom too, but I actually stopped saying that because it was like it was a different like terminology for me. So it's interesting that you saw that. It brought me back. I was like, interesting. I'm glad that you still talk to them. Truly. Because sometimes, especially going through that kind of life experience and feeling like you don't have said family biologically, these earth angels come into your life and they become your family. It's like chosen family. And you can still always make a choice to go on in your life or to still communicate with them. That's awesome. I'm sure they love you like you're their own kid, like birth child, because you really still are their kid. It's just in a different scientific form, but soul family is different. Wow, that's a cool connecting thing between us. So was it cool growing up? Absolutely not. But I definitely I like when I meet people that have also experienced that, because that has a different tone for how people live their life at times. So I used to do like where I would go speak to group homes and stuff after. I actually moved out at 16, essentially got emancipated, but I would go speak to group homes and go speak to upcoming foster parents and stuff and tell them why, because I was a teenager when I was taken in. So definitely different than your story from being a baby, which I can't even imagine, like growing up as well and feeling those things and learning. Were your foster parents open about you being a foster child, or did they keep that from you? Because being a baby is different growing up into that. Um, that's for sure, because you're just like a baby growing in the situation, and then you learn later like what it is or what it was. Just know you have a purpose in this world. Even when the cards are dealt shitty, you can still make them work for you in this life. And I feel like people become sometimes even more humble in those experiences, because it definitely makes us who we are. But to also be like, okay, like taking all the different things in, because sometimes even when I was growing up and my friends would have like two sets of biological parents that weren't even divorced and they're together, and it's like cookie cutter life, but everyone has their own situation, because sometimes parents together doesn't mean it's a good family household, or sometimes it is, and people take that for granted as well because they're spoiled and have a different upbringing. um, or you can relate to people that have experienced a little bit of both, or especially going through foster care, that's like an experience in itself. Oh wow, that's young, but I was wondering, I felt like they did, I didn't know, so that's why I asked, but I'm not trying to pry either. I do get curious in these situations, experiencing similar to myself, and also seeing like babies and children and teens grow from these situations. But that's awesome that they were honest with you about it. I think that is very, very important. I've seen families not be honest about those situations, and it becomes like tumultuous, like for said child. Not always, but and then to also feel like, okay, I'm still loved. Like I knew, because I was older, like, okay, this isn't my parents, or this isn't like my biological parents. But as a child, I think it takes a lot of courage for the other side that's helping, like your foster parents, that to hold on a second, to even bring that to the table, because they're really, what, I don't want to say rolling the dice or risking, but they may not know what the reaction may be, and who knows how a child may react to that. That's so beautiful. Really though, that really is beautiful. That is very important. Because I feel like kids can get resentment from that too and be like, wait, what? What you mean? What are you talking about? And then they go on like a dive of like, I want to know who my parents are. I will say that you know, looking back, I'm like, it was a little blessing, but I'm thankful that I didn't wonder, you know. It all depends on how you handle those type of things in life. Like, I did go back in a different scenario to relearn my parents in a not children version, a child version of the world, you know. Um, but it's definitely difficult. I'm sure I cannot relate um, to wonder like who your biological parents are or what traits you may have gotten from them, or if it was better off not having to deal with that, you know. Because later on, revisiting my parents in a light of being an adult and understanding things differently, um, I decided that's not what I want for my life anyways. So as a kid, you think it is your fault when it's not. But I'm sure you made them so happy and that you taught them so many beautiful things, and that even with the shitty hand that's dealt, you can deal out cards to people too in ways that will make you feel loved in this life and valued and appreciated, and be treated with care because of the circumstances. I mean, maybe when you're feeling better and stuff, man, you don't have to do this. I'm just throwing this out there, like, cause I've honestly thought about resurfacing back to is like connecting with those kids that experience those things that, or are experiencing those things that you've experienced. Because I realized when I was in foster care, a lot of people that are in the system, that work in the system, not all of them, but a good portion of them, they're sent as earth angels to help in other ways. And sometimes I do think it's beneficial that they don't relate entirely, so maybe that humbles them, or also they can look from a logical point of view without having extreme emotions, because they're a caring person to work in said field most of the time. I mean, with anything, there's good and bad. But I think it is also very important because I enjoy connecting with like the youth, even still being considered a youth, like a younger person, on like experiences that a lot of people cannot relate to unless you've gone through that. So having someone that you can relate to, I think, is important. And when I would go and speak to these group homes or speak to upcoming foster parents, I got this like sense of like renewal that my purpose is more than what meets the eye and in the hand that's dealt to you, you know? And it was like, felt good to have other children see that someone is getting wiser, never older, right? Getting wiser off of the experience. Because I mean, with anything, there's ways that you can go with that. You get handed a shitty hand of cards, which we all are. Everyone's got different cards. But you get handed this, especially from bio parents. It's you really have to start making a decision. Do I be a good human, or do you go reckless with it? You know. Oh, see, look. Maybe this is like a divine connection right now. And no pressure on that because that's a huge decision. But maybe that could be a soul calling, you know? And I think that is so beneficial to have someone, not only if you have a great foster parent, and I feel like foster parents don't always get credit. They're shitty foster parents too. That's good and bad and everything. But I feel like, like they don't get enough credit for genuinely being there, for someone that they didn't birth per se, but they chose to love. Um, but even more beautiful when said foster parent has experienced this, then you can kind of understand the emotions that a child may feel from that scenario, depending on the age and what they understand. I grew up in one foster home that had a lot of babies, like, so there were babies like all the time, so I was like always around babies, helping with babies. Like, I feel like that's why I don't have kids currently, because it was like it taught me very young that kids are a lot of work. And they need you. But it was always so telling for me. I think back on some of the babies that, the parents just didn't give two F's. And then some of them are just fighting their own battles and genuinely trying to get their kid back, but had to fight their own battles first. Um, and there's a lot of different scenarios, but the babies, I feel like they connect to you in a different way because they're babies. That's awesome. I really feel like that could be like maybe a calling for you and wifey to do. I'm sure she's heard your stories and stuff, and she's up for that. That's awesome, because sometimes people aren't. So in general, that's cool. You never know whose world you may change. And having that kind of unfortunate but could be very fortunate experience could only help another person, or a baby, a child, a teenager. Because when I got taken in as a teenager, I I realized there was a stigma with teenagers too, and especially depending on what age they've been brought in and what they've been through the experience. Like, teenagers need some regrounding, and they need some alignment, and I think teenagers need that no matter what. But if they don't have a good home structure, they definitely need that. Like the group homes, it was awful to see how rowdy some of these kids would be because they have no guidance, or they're feeling like a number, or they were thrown to the side, or they've already been hustling at like age 5, and they're going now through this experience. Like, it's crazy. I appreciate you sharing with me, man. That's awesome. I like I said, I know it was definitely not awesome through the experience, but I like the connection with that. Um, and I feel like sometimes people withhold those stories. I don't go around dropping that. When I was younger, maybe I was more freely talking about it, and I'm definitely not against it now. It's part of my story. Um, but there's a time and a place for things. So you mentioning that was beautiful and awesome in the time, because I was like, oh wow, that connects in a like full circle moment for me. And sometimes those stories are kind of hard to share because it's part of like an experience that isn't always relatable. Yeah, that is true. I say kids are the freshest thing from heaven, and kids teach you a lot of things. I mean, they taught me a lot of things when being around the babies all the time. I remember one household, it was like 6, 7 of us at one point. It was crazy. Primarily all babies. And definitely they teach you a lot of things. Patience being one. That's for sure. I remember one of the babies looked like me, so I literally looked like I was like 14 with a baby. He literally looked like me so much. I think about some of these babies sometimes because they're all grown now. Like, it's like I guess we all are, but it's true. We definitely learn from the kiddos. I think that's where people get lost too, thinking like, I'm an adult, I know more than you. And I'm like, that's not true. And kids have this natural approach about life, no filter. And I think that like everyone has something to bring to the table, and kids will soften you up real quick and when you need to be, and humble you too. Oh, yeah, you said you have three babies. My oldest brother, I actually said this to him recently. He didn't get to spend time with like my dad and stuff, and I think that was like a hole in a man's life, not having a father figure. But I had never had doubts that he would be a bad dad, like ever. Like it just felt like he would be like a kick-ass dad, and I'm sure you're the same way. Nothing worthwhile is easy, and as your boy gets older, all your children get older. There's things that make everybody a little bit different than each other, but there's things that can be learned in that too. Life is always about its lessons, right, and how we handle them. And I'm sure as he gets older and sees how patient you've been, and even the experiences you've been through too, man, like you're healing 101 right now, for sure. So I'm sure that's a handful for wifey and for you, to balance all that stuff out. But it'll be more rewarding in the long run. And not in a way that you're looking for a reward, but in a way that life does reward you in challenging moments. Oh my gosh. Oh, I do believe in reincarnation too. Even more about the dreamsicles. Actually, your profile picture is so small in the chat, but that's so awesome. I believe that too. I believe life continues, and definitely, you know, um, my best friend gained his angel wings almost 14 years ago, and his mom and I, we love to go get like readings, spiritual readings done. And one reader told her that her son would be reincarnated through someone in the family having a child. And that person hasn't had a child yet, so we've always wondered where it would go. But I do believe that life continues 100%, and they become guardian angels now. And although it's not the same, to not have someone in the physical, to know and be like connected to the universe and be aware that things are constantly like still proving that life continues and our angels are communicating with us if we're willing to see that. That's what keeps me going too. Oh, I was wondering if they were twins. Is that your spiritual sign? A little jellyfish. Oh man, man, that's so tough gaining angels. Condolences. I never like. I hate when people are like sorry for your loss, because I'm like it is, but it's also like you're gaining a spiritual and guardian angel, and I think that we're all assigned those. Um, and we will all meet again, and I think that's what kind of keeps me going in this life, at least. Of like, okay, there's something still here for me, even when you miss loved ones. Yeah, watch you see a photo of a jellyfish and a seahorse together. Oh, you're little twins. That's a lot to bear, man. I hope you give yourself some grace. And keep resting up. I know that resting feels like probably like what feels like maybe a punishment, but it's because you still got strong passion for this life and instead duties to fulfill in good ways, but not to add pressure and weight onto yourself. Um, that creates more stress, you know. But there's a reason why you're still here too. And I know your babies would want you to continue that strength and keep pushing to give you that strength as well. Good chat, man. Good chat. And sending all your love to the wifey too, because she sounds like she's holding down the fort. Jesse said peace and love this morning, and I said chicken or hair grease and chicken grease, and then you came in. You keep shining too. Our mission is more than what meets the eye in this life, and look, we got some connectivity here this morning in some really cool ways. I feel like there's no coincidences, and I see it a lot in my lives that people will come and mention angels and about someone they've gained as an angel and feelings towards it. And I feel like, you know, I got goosebumps right now. I feel like there's no coincidences ever in this life. So I feel like the divine aligns people to where it needs to be. Of course, you got life where some people are there for a reason, a season, and a lifetime, you know. And I'm always seeing in my spiritual eye and the rims of life of like, wow, okay, this person's been connected here for these reasons, to treat these things with care, you know. So I appreciate you. Be naturally you, you know. Life throws us some fucking curveballs, and it's how we react to them and handle them. And to know that our purpose is always higher, even through the experience that might not be as great. Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing too this morning. Good chat for sure. You're fucking awesome. Don't forget it. Wifey's fucking awesome too. You guys are gonna rock this out together. She's gonna support you. You're gonna support her, and you're gonna take care of that baby boy. I know that life is throwing some things at you, but this isn't the finish line. You're gonna heal up, and things are gonna be better than you imagine. Just give it some time and stay strong, okay? If anything, you told me this morning how strong you are without having to say that. So I hope you remember that. Farms, mama farms. Yeah, give yourself all the grace. I got little tears formulated and some goosebumps. Baker's good peeps, for sure. We'll send all the healing prayers out to you. You little dreamsicle. You rest up from all the partying? How's your baby boy feeling? 10 today? He's like, I'm 10 in a day. Yeah, they will, Farms. What up, Grown? Yeah, this is early for you still. What up, Remy? Where the Remy at? He don't put on his grown man pants this morning, Farms. Ready to conquer the world, aka the farm. Do the kids help you out in the farm? I'm assuming. Yeah, girl. I already did that this morning because I was like, it's about to feel like it's 200 out there. I think I've decided I'm not going to say I'm not going to, but I think I've decided I'm not going to plant any more seeds until it starts to get cooler because things are just burning off and I feel like I'm wasting the seeds and or they're probably putting shit seeds in these bags. I don't really know. I try to get seeds from some stuff that I buy from the store. And I'm thankful for the current plants I have. Oh, some of the sunflowers I saw yesterday, actually, I was looking at them again this morning. They, I beheaded them, of course, right? But some of them are growing new buds, so I'm so glad that I kept them. So I was debating, I was like, are they just chilling in the garden or gonna regrow? I can't remember, are they on summer break? Do they go back next month? That's awesome. And still those responsibilities and important things that I feel like kids should know, like, and that's like a different view of like you're doing it differently than what society expects people to do, which is awesome. What up, Rim? How's your boy? How's he doing in the camps? Oh my gosh, Rim. I was playing around with the little avatar cartoon thing yesterday. And there was a couple of them where it was like putting like tats on the face, and I was like, no. I was like, that's a no. It was getting better as I was like trying to create. This was like one of the best ones that I got. I got a few other ones, and it's not even, it doesn't, it look, I really went with it because it looks more like the dogs, even though the coloring is still a little off. But it's very suiting for the other things in my world, essentially. So I was like, screw it. If you know, you know. I'll have a little bit of fun in it. Dutchy roll, yes. I was watching the show last night, and the person was gonna make sausage rolls, but they're from the UK, so I think they call them something different. That's hilarious. The Dutchy roll. I do love some rolls and some biscuits. Honestly, anything bread. Can eat all the breads. I watched American Idol a couple years ago, and Jelly Roll was on there. Oh, that's good, Rim. Well, have trust that he will. Maybe this is where you allow him to try to make good decisions, or what he wants to do too. You're talking about for school, I'm assuming. Oh my gosh, girl, how did I know you were holding out? Yeah, I'm glad he is doing great, and hopefully you won't be a grandpa this trip. For real, for real. Oh my gosh, well, hopefully they don't have him like doing a boot camp outside. I'm imagining like a parent trap type camp. Ooh, that is awesome. So it can be optional what you do with it. You're like, I could do sandwich, bread, or I could do a dinner roll, or both. Yeah, if you're talking about the bread that you posted in that photo, that thing looked glazed, looking like a donut. So I can only imagine the dinner roll with some butter. Oh boy. I'm so curious, Rem. Do your kids think you're funny? I feel like, yeah, at farms, if you learn the dough, it feels differently. Because I'm gonna be honest, when I was making the biscuit dough, I started getting like traumatized again. I was like, oh no. I was like, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So it's like learning the texture. I think they're beignets. Is it beignets? I've made those before, and the first time was awful, and then the second time was pretty good. But the texture can get you traumatized real quick. You're like, oh no. But not you, you're a fucking pro. Teach me your ways, I am young grasshopper. I've never done it, but I've never eaten pumpkin soup. This sounds interesting. Is there anything else besides pumpkin in there? Sounds good though. I love pumpkin bread. I made so much pumpkin bread last year, y'all. Yeah, yeah, like anything, like the more you pour into it, the better you get. It's just having that patience and also trust in yourself, like, hey, I can do this, you know? Easier said than done at times, but I think like the more, yeah, they say what? You do something 4,000 times, you become a master, right? So you are a master. Good morning, Ties. I can see that rim. Yeah, girl. I try to, if I am doing stuff in the oven, it's early or it's in the evening. I feel that. I feel that. That's for sure. Is different in the wintertime, but in the summertime, it's definitely no joke. No pressure, girl. I think a lot of people don't, unless you are a baker or you cook and stuff. A lot of people don't realize all the efforts that go into it and all the skill even and even the cleanup. People are glad to eat it up, tear it up, but may not always see like all that hard work that goes behind it. And it's so true. It's like it really is like a love language. To be appreciated. Who else in this chat? Attendance. Tell me you're present. President. Dutchie. Here. Farms. Here. Rim. Here. Yeah, but you know how kids are. Kids are like so easily not wanting to be embarrassed because all it takes is one real embarrassing moment to scar a kid's life. So, especially when it comes to like school and stuff. I don't know how I'll be. I feel like I'll be like a cool, embarrassing mom though. Because I also won't give a shit. Because I'm like, it's okay. You have to just go through the walk of life always, but as you get older, you realize a lot of stuff just doesn't matter. But people still carry on things from like younger years into being an adult, and adults still act certain ways that children will act, which is wild. I honestly, I really got along with most people, a good portion of people. And then when I didn't, I could see now for sure that it was jealousy, like in different categories of why I maybe didn't get along with someone anyways. Or people would full circle and be like, I don't know how we weren't friends before. And I'm like, yeah, because you were being a little prick. And I also like have always just accepted, as you guys see here, I'm very similar in a human face-to-face experience. I just accept people for how they are. As I get wiser on my journey, I realize that I don't want to associate with some stuff and I don't want to be attached to some things, so I detach. But if that's still that person making these decisions and feeling XYZ way, then each is their own always. Yeah, and I mean, school, especially school years, like, you can't take those things seriously, although you're starting to, especially as you get older in middle school and then high school, and then you start to go into adulting, so to speak, because I think when you're 18, you're still not an adult. You're 18. So I still don't think you're an adult. Society may say that you are, but I don't think you're crafted there yet. So school really does a number in there because I feel like, kids will mutate off of what their parents have taught them or other kids have taught them, and now they think that they know society or who they are at like 13. Like, you could be confident in some things. Like, I look back and I still resonate with a lot of stuff that I felt when I was younger, but I'm more bendable and more flexible and definitely more understanding, seeing life in a different lens as you do get older. I mean, wiser. What was your husband's astrology sign? Yeah, you really won't unless you live in a really small town, because some people are like that too, and then everyone sees everyone all the fucking time, so that's kind of different. But most of the time, those things don't matter. And even when you get out of what high school, everyone's like, let's continue to hang out and be friends, and that stuff doesn't happen. So sometimes you'll have people Like I still talk to my best friend, but we also had long distance pretty much our whole friendship because I moved around all the time. So I don't know if that plays a part in there, but there's still some people that I like mingle or chat with, or sometimes I even see, which I hope I don't Beetlejuice this, so I'm gonna stop saying that now. But none of that shit matters, you know? Especially when it comes to like it's crazy stuff like clothes and shoes and the newest this and the newest that, and no one thinks about like how you literally the parents are forking these things out, especially if you're not like a loaded ass parent that just is like spoiling the kid and everything they wanted. I I see that kids are way more like socially accepting, needy than they've ever been, which is actually really sad, to be honest. I don't know if you guys can hear me. This is some bullshit, YouTube. Yeah, I don't know if I'm connected. Oh, YouTube. I may have to restart this fucking live. I need to charge this phone too. It's literally telling me it's just connecting. So I can't even see the chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Honestly, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know. I'm like, dang, we're sitting here having a good conversation, YouTube. I'm gonna restart the live. Give me a little bit though. I don't know if this is from the universe. Maybe I was blabbing too much, but it literally was like connecting, 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 and I'm